Hey everyone, welcome back to Transport Fever 2 and welcome back to Eras. Watching our plane fly over our new orchard that we made last time. I think it looks pretty good. The walls out the front have definitely give it a bit of, gravitas, sets off the place. And obviously the trees do a great job of representing an orchard. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way it has turned out. Today we're going to continue down this road a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of limestone work, and we're also going to do a little bit more detailing along the way. So between episodes, one of the things I did do is I put down some power poles along the road. So this is from the Powerline mod. It's available on mod.io. So I thought I would continue that. So we've done it all the way down to this road, and then I turn the corner and you can see it joins up to where we had the power poles originally. We put them first down right here at our windmills. So yeah, I thought I would continue those lines into Ashford over here. So yeah, let's start by doing that under this power thing. And we're going to go just for the standard 3 poles. Now the good thing about these is they do snap. So if I do this, in theory, it should just follow along. And as long as you snap it to the road, you can see that those wires stay nice and parallel to each other. We can change the droop if we wanted. You can see how they kind of droop down, but I've been using normal the whole time. So yeah, just a matter of making it semi-happy going around the corner. I think this one, because of the curve of the road, it's getting a little bit funky, but we got there in the end. Yeah, I think this does give us a little bit of reality, I guess, to the diorama. You can see as it snaps, it does that last second twist. And we'll come over to here to the airport. Yeah, I love the planes coming in and out of here. And I suppose we can just continue into town. We already do have some in town over here, I do believe, from memory. And so we can just join up with this one right here. And I think what I might do, because that doesn't really work, is I'm going to hold down C, and for some reason I'm going to make this one across. Probably not the best thing, but yeah, that joins our lovely paper mill to the network, and see it goes across here into town. This guy is out of control when it comes to capacity. You can see over here. There is a huge amount of stuff that wants to go across the airport. So, yeah, I guess what's happening is bread is coming in here from somewhere. There's probably this one, so this green one that comes across from the fish and chip shop. And then it's going on to the route that goes across to the airport. Then I think it's going on the plane. It's backhauling over here, which is kind of weird because it's bread and it's already available here. Then I think the train is this one? Yeah. Then it goes on the train here, and then eventually gets to over here at Lone and then in not Lone in Smallfield, and then it gets delivered. So in theory, if we click on the fish and chip shop, it'll actually say the consumers are, there you have, Smallfield. So yeah, so that's actually the reason why we're getting a backhaul over there. I'm gonna let it continue, quite frankly. I don't want to lose the money. It's making money by doing that. So yeah, there's definitely a need for more trucks there. And then at the other end of this, actually I'll turn that off a sec, there's also a whole lot over here. It's also overwhelmed at this end. So I think both directions we could do with some more. So I'm just going to probably bring that up by a couple. And hopefully that will deal with that. I think just to deal with the overflow there, I think I'm going to put on a nice building on the end here. And yeah, I think that'll do. That'll give us a little bit more capacity. You can see the overflow over there. And hopefully that will be a little bit better. So yeah, that's our power lines finished that way. So let's continue into town. I did the power lines a bit more sparingly over this way, and I think I ended here. So yeah, let's continue those power lines going forward. It will snap onto there, and this one's not turning the right way, so I'm going to turn it round. Get those wires the way we want. And hopefully if I continue now, yeah, that should get rid of the rotation problem. And we'll come over here. And you know what? I'm going to go way over here, away from the boom gates. And then we'll come back to the road. And for some reason it doesn't like me, so we'll turn it around. And I'm just going to hold. Yeah, it's got that. You know what? I'm going to let it have that twist. Well, there it goes. And yeah, for some reason, there it goes. Oh, I think the twist is caused by when you have the mouse on the right-hand side or the left-hand side of the pole. Yeah, so there's the twist. There's not the twist. Okay, that's something I've learnt. And so we want it there. And for now, I'm going to end right there. And that's our power coming into Limestone. All right, between episodes, I have installed a couple of mods. And in particular, I added a new one for train lines crossings. So I'm actually going to show you the ones that we have added. So right down here in the 200 range, I have added this New Zealand crossings. It's got a really nice looking crossing sign. We're about to change our things into that. We're going to do Tower Bridge. There's a sneak peek about what we're going to do. And tree wind animation. This probably is my new favorite mod of all time, and we'll you know what? We'll look at that right away. If we look at these trees, they are moving. Let's get out of traffic. It's a bit noisy. So what that mod is doing is it's twisting the assets and also well, swaying them, and it's also doing a slight rotation. And doesn't that look awesome? I know that when the game came out, there was criticism that the decision was made that the game didn't have movement, and same thing goes with the fields. They don't have any, like, the shape of wind coming across them. I know particularly in Farming Simulator it looks fantastic as the wind moves across the fields and you get this shimmer across the fields, and then also in Farming Simulator you do get a tree movement. But that little mod that's all it's doing is modifying the asset. It's a small thing, but to my eyes, it just looks fantastic. So yeah, the wind asset, just type in wind in the workshop and you'll find it pretty easily. For this gate barrier, I want to try this New Zealand one. So there's this just an X sign. We can do that for a second. You can see it's a very simple X. This is, I think, going to be great for dirt roads rather than we've been using posts till now. And yeah, this is the one we had just then, and it's a little bit Swiss inspired, but yeah, this New Zealand one looks fantastic. I love the lights. I think yeah, they look fantastic, and yeah, I like it how it's on both sides of the road as well. I don't know if we have a train anytime soon. We do. We've got our train over here. I think, yeah, we actually technically could change this as well. Yeah, there we go. That looks cool. You know, I actually might leave like that. I think that looks cool. Did it change both ends by chance? It didn't. It actually left both different. So I'm going to change that one too. And oh, I love it. I think that looks fantastic. Yeah, that's really cool. And then let me just speed up a sec, and then we'll see what these ones look like. So I just slow it down. And you know what? The mixture of the power lines, these things, the animated signals, mods galore. There's a New Zealand mod. We've got the Great Western UK signals mod. We've got the power line mod. That's on mod.io. Obviously the trains, the generic trains. That's the Great Western Railway engines by JK. This is definitely a mod heavy intersection. So talking about mods, over here I can see there's a little bit of a build up. I think this line, yeah, this is the bus line that goes from here across to Ashford. I think this line is very soon going to be removed, and we'll actually get a train line in over to Ashford, and this bus line can be retired. But for now, the capacity is pretty good. It's making money, and more importantly, this place is not overwhelmed. Some people can get to there. But if we look over here, I'm actually going to press pause so we don't miss the opportunity. We are using these half cab type, let me show the front, these half cab buses, and these are like a half height double decker bus. And what we can do is, since we do have a bit of a backlog here, like 29 128. Actually, that's the train. We want this one. Yeah, there's 30 people waiting there. So I think we'll manage these vehicles. We've only got 3. Rather than adding more, I'm going to replace them. And we'll replace them with the double-decker variant. So we're going to go from this one, which was 12 people. And if we scroll down, we get the nice double-decker one. It's going to go up to 29. And hopefully that's going to put out and press pause. Hopefully this guy's going to load up. Yep, it's still at the station. You know what? Come back. Are you going to High Street? Yeah, okay. But yeah, hopefully that will deal with that situation a little bit better. There were some comments about the plots here about we should put trees in them, and I 100% agree. Definitely a great idea. So while we're here, let's work on that. Probably want a tree that is, yeah, kind of that height. So let's put down a mixture of colors. So I'm going to put maybe that one there, and then we'll use these JK variants for different colors. And I'm just going to kind of mix these around, and we'll go for, maybe we can get 3 over here. So the game is giving us a mixture of sizes, rotations, and stuff like that. So it's not overly consistent. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And looks like the locals have moved in on our grassland here. So what I might do is actually depaint some of this, and these guys can have their yards back. I had that all painted as grass. I did notice in the train station, which is this guy's going great, yet not too full. Finances, it's okay. Yeah, I did notice that there is this tree sticking out, so we should be able to, yeah, delete that tree. And actually, there's another one over here. Hopefully we can delete this one. There we go. And yeah, that looks a bit better. That concrete wall shouldn't have that stuff through it. Oh, we lost the properties when we did that. That's kind of annoying. I think I might put some of those trees back. I think we can put something like that. Yeah, I think that'll do it for now. I don't want to put too many down. But yeah, that's London upgraded from a bus point of view. Let's have a look at this bus here. How are you going? Yeah, nice and full. Look at that. That is, we can get inside. Yeah, this is lovely and full. Great to see. Have at the bottom, got the staircase, conductor, a couple of seats left. Yeah, great to see. It looks like that's dealt with that, because you get a bit of an influx when the trains come in. So you can see this big queue of people who are coming across. I do like how we've put down some of these walkways. If I press Alt L, you can see there's a fake road here and here, and also between the bushes I put in some invisible roads and paths, and same thing over here to guide where these people are walking. You can see how they're following the lines, and so yeah, by putting those in, we've kind of made it work really well. Haven't seen many people go across this way yet because there's no trains coming into these left platforms yet. We don't have any traffic over here, but I assume once we do have some trains over here, they will walk. How will they do this? They will walk. Yeah, I assume that's a walkable spot. They'll walk through there, I guess. Yeah. Let's just press Alt L. Yeah, it looks like they go inside. Yeah, I don't know where they go. It's kind of weird. All over the shot. Yeah, but there is some stuff there. So yeah, hopefully that will all pan out. I think that looks pretty good. I do like this little market we've got at the front here. I am tempted to put a couple more tables down. What I should do is paint that part. So under Ingo, we have the this brush, and hold down Shift to paint over the road. And I think that works pretty well. And yeah, we definitely need something probably over here to fill this in. I think I said it when we put this down that I might do a Christmas diorama. So if this series is running around December 2025, which it probably will be, I'll put a whole Christmas diorama in there, maybe even a little bit of a Christmas market as well. All right, let's move across to the river. One of the things I did download was more assets. Obviously we have this Buckingham Palace type 1, and I want to put in Tower Bridge right here. Now, this is not meant to be London, but it is, basically. So, yeah, right here, I want to put it in Tower Bridge. Now, really, I should be putting it... I mean, Buckingham Palace isn't really aligned to what reality would be. That would be over there. What I was thinking is this is going to be the main road north-south. I would like to have it be the one responsible for having a Tower Bridge on it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Tower Bridge, not London Bridge. And so, yeah, let's do that. Do this one, Tower Bridge mod, and we are going to get this over here, get the rotation onto the grid. And it looks like it's a little bit lower than what I've got, so we'll have to raise it up a little bit. And so what I'm going to try to do is line up the road. You can see over here, I'm going to try to line the center line up, and then we'll get the bollard part wide enough so we can get a road through it still. So I think roughly there. I'm going to go do it anyway. And then the bridge is still there, that orange one. So we'll get rid of the orange bridge. And there. And then we'll have to do these. I think it's just a matter of putting in a nice straight road that way. And I think I might downgrade this road as well. And yeah, we'll get rid of all that and go across to here. Looks like we didn't exactly get it straight, but we should be able to do that and hide it. Now, as far as this is concerned, I'm okay with that one. I think, do I want to try moving it across? You know what? I don't think I will. I think I'll leave that one, but this one's obviously wrong. So we'll undo that. And I think we should be able to just push this out into the river a little bit. Come down, please. And 180, and then we can wiggle that over there. So yeah, it kind of comes across there straight. And maybe at some point we'll put in a retaining wall or something to make that look a little bit better. But doesn't that look fantastic? Do we have any of our first cars going across it yet? There we go. So there's our first one. So let's go a bit of old G action. And we can watch the cars come across the bridge. We do have the option to modify this. And for the fun of it, I think we will. So obviously, normally you can just go across like that. But what we can do is actually have fun with it. So let's look at this thing. First things first, I'm going to give it a name. This is going to be the Lonestone Bridge. Play on London Bridge. Well, let's do Lonestone Tower Bridge. And then from a configuration point of view, we can have fun. So there's a simple bridge without animation, which is what we've got here. Simple bridge where jumping is allowed. So that's kind of fun. There's a thing where it's all up, but then it's not a road anymore. So that could be fun. And then I don't think I can choose it right now because everything's attached, but you can put a single track along it, a single railway bridge or a double railway bridge. But for what we're doing, we're just doing the road. And you know what? I am going to have fun with this animation. And we are on right-hand side traffic. And if I press pause, hopefully these guys are going to turn around and come this way. Maybe not. Here we go. And so these guys have the fun animation. Whee! That's kind of cool. I don't know if we'll keep it like that, but you know, for now, that's a fun little addition to the game. Yeah, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I think that looks pretty cool. It's a little bit more to the left than I like, but that's what really the road is doing. Maybe what we should do is bring out the land on this side a micro amount. That might be the wise decision. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. It also makes the road not as stark. But yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Watch one more car do its jump. Very Harry Potter car-esque, isn't it? All right, next things I want to do is this line over here on the right-hand side. Lots of people waiting. Great to see. Actually, you can see that guy is coming in right now. I'm going to try to get my mouse somewhere where it's not on the building so we don't get the white lines. You can see that there's a tiny little engine on the front. So when I was buying the engine, I said, hey, I want to buy something from 1929, and in the UI I actually clicked it, but unfortunately the game has a little bit of quirkiness, and sometimes when you click in a dialogue the game doesn't actually recognize it. So what that means is we actually end up buying the loco from the 1870 list and not the 1929 list, which is fine and all because it's nice and cheap, but it isn't really the engine that I was going for. So I'm going to press pause and we're going to modify that before it gets to the end of the station, and we're going to edit this. And so what happened was I was under generic, and then I wanted this one, and see how I clicked on that just then? It even went click, but it didn't change, right? It was still on this. So I thought from an auditory point of view it had changed, and now it did change. So basically there's a focus problem with this dialogue. And so what I want is something which, I'm just going for a red one. I know I could color it, but I want a red one, and I want one without a tender. So I think that's the... Is that the, which one's the first one of those? So I want one, yeah, like this one. So this one should be pretty good. 3.8,642. 4.9 million. Yes, this one's a little bit more expensive to run. So I'm going to err away from that. And then that gets even more. Yeah, that gets more and more and more and more. So this line is making some money. But I don't want to blow it too much. So I'm going to choose the first one that is of this category, and then we're going to press X on that. If we hold down Shift, you can see that it turns into a bar. So Shift is off, Shift is on, and then I'll put that at the front. And so we'll modify that for $2 million. And now we have this lovely engine on the front. Press on pause, and still fits on the station easily. And this guy still has a capacity of 100, and hopefully this guy can rush along the coast a little bit faster. Load speed's still not the best. Yeah, I'm glad we've done those buses, because a lot of these people will walk across to those double-decker buses and take up that as a way home. Actually, I have interest. Where do you want to go? You are going to... Yeah, over here. So they're probably going to walk rather than take the bus. Let's choose another person. And where are you going to? You are going to... Oh, way over here. Interesting. Over to Ashford. So they'll go over to the bus, and then come home. Yeah. Next episode, I think, will be the episode where we have fun with a new train line out to Ashford. We have not taken this train line yet, so 100 out of 100. Actually, that's interesting. Maybe I should put another carriage on this. How many people were left over? How many people are here? Still 30. Okay, I'm actually going to modify this while it's moving, and let's put on another passenger thing. I think it was 1925s. Red ones, and let's put on... Do we want to put a brake van on? Or do we just put another third class? I can put another third class on. And that brings it up to 120, 122, which is the length of the runway, length of the station. And out we go. So yeah, the nice smooth exit from our King's Cross inspired station. And yeah, let's go for a ride. Haven't really checked the grade on this. We kind of just pulled segments as we went. We did put the trees down either side to kind of give this some barrier to the farms around it. But I would be surprised to see that there is some wonk as it goes up and down. Yeah, we raised some of the land around here, so we've got a nice shallow fade off when we get to this bridge. Now this looks pretty good. I think I can see one reason to stop. I'm just going to press pause now. And yeah, as we go across the maps there, I'm kind of doing things. This is way too stark. So I'm going to quickly go to Ingo. Where are you, Ingo? And I'm going to choose this underbrush. Super weak. And I'm going to put some weeds under there. And we'll go some weeds up here on the track as well. And so it's, it hasn't been taken care of. Now, obviously this needs to have fences and everything else, but let's do that. And continue on. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in this mode and do, can I do this mode? No, I can't. I'm going to go this mode and I'm going to turn on the tool and we're actually going to do some flowers. And so as we follow along, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle flowers. You can see that right there. Actually, I'm going to go in camera mode and then you can get really down close. Let me do some magic with the graphics. Yeah, you can see that a very subtle amount of flowers and stuff. So as we go along, I'm going to sprinkle them along the track. And I think we want a brush that's, about that big. Strength is okay. Maybe, how big do I want this? I think I might go one notch up. And I will do a fuzzy one. If I'm going to do fuzzy, I'll go up to 14. Yeah, so that's... Yeah, I think that works. And then what we can do is we can click on this, say follow, and then turn this on and press play. And then you can use the middle mouse wheel to pan like this, left and right. And then as it's going along, you can just touch the edges. Now I don't want it too much. I don't want it to be constantly the same one. But as you go along, you can just sprinkle in some color along the track. And we could actually, choose a different flower. Like there's a blue one for a little while. But I do like this slightly bluer one because you can see it pop out. And then, just a little bit of color. This is where it's climbing the berm up to the railway crossing we've got. Yeah. The other thing you can use this for is ballast. So if you go here and choose ballast, you can just hold it down, strength 100%, and as it moves along, you can clean the ballast up. And so that's a good way of just getting that done. Across the river, let's have a look at that, a nice wide shot. That looks good. Yeah, that looks cool. We can do some more ballasting. And then we can jump back to flowers and touch it a little bit everywhere. Just get a little bit of variation. I've noticed that actually we can press pause again. I've noticed that in Transport Fever 3, they've added flowers to the default mix of things, and I think that's fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I think that looks way better from a dirt road point of view. It doesn't need to have anything more than that. Let's continue the following. Bring up this. I did have strength a bit higher before for that segment. Don't have to do it always. I don't have to be consistently doing it. And into the tunnel. And we'll go over the tunnel because you can't see it. And while it's doing that, we can do some stuff up here. Do it all around there. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not too wonky. The straights are pretty straight. I think I might get some terraforming out around here. And it's kind of fun to ride the rails. Is another one of those things where we need to change it to that. Click that. Continue on. Press pause. Yeah. Definitely one of those games that if you learn the keystrokes, or actually I've changed a lot of the key bindings. I've actually gone into the settings and say, hey, for this action, X, Y, Z, make it this keystroke. It definitely does make it a little bit more practical and easier to play. This one's a pretty important road. This is like the main road between Smallfield and Lionstone. So I think I might actually give it something with lights. Oh, it doesn't have an arm. I don't think it's appropriate to have that there. Yeah, I don't think they would have... Oh, maybe. You know what? That's actually semi-tempting. I don't think its side gates look any good. No, that goes over the line. I think we might just go the default ones. Yeah, I think we might just go default. One thing we will do is see right here. See how there's a kink right there? That's because we have our facility right here. I think if I click on this and go configure, on the out, we've got it coming through the facility, coming out at 0 degrees. So if we say the exit is it negative 45 degrees? Yes, it is. So negative 45. So now you can see it's over here, and that stopped that road being as egregiously bad. So let me get rid of that and that. And in theory, I think if I put that back, it should be, yeah, much smoother. Yeah, that works much better than it was. All right, let's continue our painting exercise. Continue on. And make sure the strength is low. Bit of touching. And do it over here in the distance a bit. I'm just doing a single click, so I'm not really dragging the click. I don't want too much color. I'm thinking, like if you're in real life, you tend to see a lot of whites. So it'd be nice to use some other color that's kind of like in that palette. And of course, if you do it twice, it will get replaced. And so that would work well. I don't think Ingo's got too many. So that's probably a bit too tall. This one's interesting. Well, that's too much. Oh, look at this. Oh, I haven't been here for ages. Look at the growth of this place. So watch this guy pull in. So he has 100 on board. This is I suppose the inaugural run of this new engine. Big chunkin' boy, what are we going to get? So is this extra 20 going to be useful? 0.99, because the engine's a little bit longer. It was 122, and that last carriage is sticking out a little bit. It's interesting how the locals have really filled in this area. We've got entrances here and here to allow people to walk in from the side, and then they can walk under with these things. So that's why they haven't built there. But I like how the locals have filled that up, and it looks like the station 15-10 more. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be about 80. Okay, yeah, about 80. So I don't know if we 100% needed that 120 people worth, but not too bad. Not sure if I showed this. I put in a signal box here. It looks like the townsfolk have completely destroyed it by putting some stuff at the front here, but I had a nice little hedge place, and I think there's a car underneath that, quite frankly. I think this person's car has been completely destroyed. But yeah, that looks, you know what? The way that came out with that gap there, I don't mind that. It's actually pretty good. And actually, even this stuff here has kind of set it off quite nicely. Yeah, I do like that. How are our buses going? So is this overwhelmed? So this is our buses, and they're nearly full. And this station's got 40, so I think I might give these guys. Do we want to give them more? So they're barely making a profit. And eventually, what will happen is these guys will just flush out the 40 odd people. I think I might add one more. We'll just put a sixth one up there. Hopefully, that's the way to go. The other option would be to upgrade them to bigger buses. Sometimes that's the more efficient way. And then this guy's about to arrive. This is the bus trip that can go from Smallfield across to Basemith. So rather than taking the train into Lonestone and then the train out again, these guys are just doing the road way of doing it. And yeah, the service is pretty full, pretty successful. As long as most of these guys get picked up with this bus, we should be good. This bus holds 11. Yeah, so most people, 2 people missed out. I think that's kind of okay. Is there another bus turning up anytime soon, though? I don't see it. You know what? I think I might add one more bus to that line, because these guys will be having to wait a little bit more than I would like. So managed vehicles, and we'll get one more of those. I chose those yellow ones because they got really good high top speed. So yeah, so we'll see how all that goes. So that's all that kind of balanced out. How is this going? I'm not seeing any material here. These guys are are delivering around town. This is how the town gets its food. That looks all okay. They get their food over from the train line, which would be this one. You can see it goes around the loop, around there, across to over here. What does this look like? So the airfield for some reason has 1,000 on it. I don't understand it. Smallful train bread has 800. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we can. Oh, here it is, talking to the that guy. Here he is now. Now, the line down is only singular. So putting a second one on would be pretty hard. I put all these fences into the left-hand side here. I don't know if I showed that on camera. Yeah, I do a lot of little micro detailing. I don't know how much the micro detailing you guys want to see. There was a really good comment, and I'm going to do that right now, about this train though. So we do need to increase the capacity of that, but I think I might do that later because there's only a single track the whole way. There's no way for it to pass itself if it had a friend. We could make some passing lanes. But yeah, I think that's a later problem. But there was a very good comment that suggested that, or pointed out that we shouldn't be so consistent with our rolling stock. So you know what? I agree with that too. It's very boring. So let's look up food. So we do have a lot to choose from. We were using, I think, which ones are we using? I think it was, is it the generics, British? So we've got these British beautiful ones. So let's have a mixture of boxcars and stuff. I don't really know what I want. So if I just do Great Western Railway, we do have a couple to choose from. So I'm going to get rid of like all but 4. And then I'm going to put on some of these. And then we'll push that to the front, push that to the front, push that to the front. So there'll be 2 of those, then a couple of those. And then we'll go a couple of these. And you know what? It's easier just to go down sometimes. So I'm going to go down, 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 up, 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 up. So just completely mix up the list here. I think I might just bring them there. Yeah, I think that's kind of different. And yeah, we'll modify that. And now that looks just a lot more interesting. You've got like a nice mix of rolling stock. And then when it loads up, we should see it have all these different animations. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I'm not sure if the overall capacity is more or less now. Interesting, these are the doors on the side. Yeah, so okay, these ones get covered. Okay, obviously the boxcars don't change. Yeah, and you get to see those graphics. You get to see some tarpaulin covers, I guess, or canvas ones. Yeah, I think that looks kind of cool. Yeah, it's a bit more interesting. And we can watch this guy pull out of the farm. Did I hear a plane? I did hear a plane. Those planes are constant. They're always coming and going. The only unfortunate thing with this farm asset by UEP, if you just type in UEP and farm into the Steam Workshop, you'll find it pretty easily, is everything clips for each other. So this plane, no doubt, is just going to go straight through the train. Yeah. And same thing happened with the truck before. It just went straight through it before. Oh yeah, the capacity is 88. I can see that in the bottom left corner now. And so, yeah, I think we're running 60 before, so that's definitely is an increase. It's going very slow because this area has a very slow speed limit. But yeah, another thing kind of fixed. Definitely this thing's producing way more than we're delivering, but we can work on that. There is a railway crossing here that I think I might change. I think I'm going to try this cool New Zealand one. Yeah, I suppose that's good enough. And how about over here? We've got one right here as well. This one definitely can be just crossing because it's like a little private road. And any more? Yeah, this one's got gates. That one looks good. We've bothered to put the fence in across there. And is there any more? And actually right here there's another one. Because this is a dirt road, I think I might go with the X on this one. And any more? This one's really big, so we'll put this one with the full lights. I think it looks pretty good. If this road's wider, you get the boom gates. So I think it has to be 4 lanes rather than 2. But yeah, off that goes. And I'm sure there's a couple more over there we can do. All right, how is everybody down here going? So the paper is a little bit low. Let's have a look at the station over here. So this guy is struggling to get stuff delivered to the fish and chip shop. So the fish and chip shop actually wants more. It's only getting roughly 60 out of its 100. Yeah, and we can see that, yeah, it's saying suppliers is only getting 60% of what it wants. So is it because, yeah, the train is getting here, but it's getting over here and just not being delivered into town. So yeah, we've just got one truck, so we can just simply bump that up. If we go to a rate of 124, that should be enough, because all it's doing is delivering that paper over to the fish and chip shop. So that's working out pretty well. I do like how this area turned out. I think it looks quite nice. We've got a lot of specialized mods that let us expand the station. So all of this is a station. You can see how there's a white line around it. There's a whole slew of mods here putting different assets on the station, allowing us to make quite a big infrastructure here. I think it looks pretty good. How are you going? This is the one of the 2 paper trains, and finances, yeah, it's a bit that here and there. But yeah, I think that will do for now. And then I'm seeing a big number over here. Wow, this station's full, but actually the train just arrived, so I think that should be fine. This holds 60, so yeah, it's going to be fine. No reason to change that. And finances looks semi-okay, so I don't think we really need to change that. We don't need to add any characters onto that. How about from a ship point of view? 1 person that end, 3 at that end, and then yeah, these aren't even halfway full, so nothing on that one, 9 on that one. So yeah, I think these 2 are doing the job. I think we do need 2 to go across the gap there, but the other option we could do is maybe look at just changing it to 1 with a bigger capacity, but I think that's fine for now. How goes our wood? So this holds 56, this holds 130, so that's definitely going to be all right. And the actual logs coming down here, the fact that we have an animation without a cargo tram, it says it's 100, and this place is 100, I believe it is. So transport 93. Yeah, so we've got 2 vehicles. What I might do is I'm going to replace this with an item that does logs, and I'm going to change it to the 6, and so we'll have a 4 and a 6, and so that way hopefully that rate will be a little bit more, and it will get to 100%. Yeah, I like how this turned out. Looks pretty good. I think the Rico animated loading thing's pretty good, and definitely helps with the realism around here. I think it looks pretty good. This road has never been great. I don't think I'm going to mess with it though. And so that goes down to town. Everything's good. How goes the bus? There's our bus line. So they go around town, but they also have the specialized thing of they actually come over here and have a bus stop next to our logging mill, because our logging mill does have capacity. So if we go over here on the right hand side, you can see there's 50 employees over there. And so there's a lot of need for the bus to move around. And from our fortunate point of view, yep, the bus is doing okay, and it's getting people down to the port and also up to work. So that works pretty well. We don't have any power lines through here. You know what? I think this might be a good chance just to play with them. I'm gonna go. I think this 111 looks pretty good. I'm gonna go weak here. We'll go for a bit more of a laissez-faire point of view. So now that I understand how the twisting works, And so if you go to the right hand, so if you go placement and on the right, it twists one way. If you go to placement on the left, it twists the other way. I don't know if it's easy to see that. But now I know that, that makes that an absolute joy to use. And then I'm going to change it to that side so they don't twist, and then we'll go back down the hill here. And absolute joy to use as a mod. I think this may be my favorite mod that's ever come out. I think it's pretty fantastic actually. And then there we go. So yeah, that looks pretty cool. A bit of a variety around there. Obviously we can go to the nth degree and put them everywhere. We do run the risk that if the town expands and moves roads, they're going to be a bit weird, but yeah, I think that looks good. I do like how the island of Driftwood has turned up. I think it looks pretty good. I like how the boat's going across. Really active around here. Now that we have increased that, we will be making more bread, and so hopefully it's getting better and better. And the consumers is, yeah, the whole map through weird thing. That small field, as we said at the start, it just goes from here to Ashford to the freight place to the airport over to there, then onto the train, and then over the small field. So we probably could just put a truck line in from here over there, and that would probably make it a little bit more efficient. But that could be a future problem. Is there enough? So is it the bread? Okay, it's the bread. So 65 managed vehicles. I think they are the best of the best when it comes to speed. Food. So I'm pretty sure we have these. And so they hold 12, 11, 60. Yeah, I think they are 60. Oh, this is 14. You know what? I'm going to replace it with them. That's what it was. And I'm going to get 3 more. And hopefully that will just help that go a little bit faster and clear that backlog out. How's everything else going? These guys are good. There's no backlog there. Yeah, I do like how this has all turned out. I think this diorama over here looks fantastic. How's our skeleton-based logging going? This guy's told to wait for a full load. Yeah, 90 out of 120. Makes money. Yeah, across the board, I think financially we're going pretty well. This is the paper line. You're still a bit up and down. But yeah, we've got $85 million in the bank. Everything's going quite well. This is the Ashford planks. It looks like it's quite full. So its rate is 67. And this guy is saying that the person who wants it wants 63. Okay. Fine. If that's what you want. So no, this would take 100. If you gave it 100, it would take 100, I'm sure. Weird. I would have thought, well, it's got tons. Yeah, okay. Not sure. How's this over here? Actually, we talked about the line that comes out of here and the one over to the airport, and we can see, did that make it any better? Yeah, it's all emptied out now by adding 3 rather than 2. How about over here? So there's a line that goes from here across to there, and that seems like it's going well. We need to make sure that this station is not in range of this, which it is not. You can see it didn't light up. It gets really close though, but yeah, the important thing is it doesn't reach. So the closest tendril, okay, it's over here. So yeah, it is very northerly, what do you call it? It is definitely locked to this end as far as distance. I am tempted to straighten this out just to give it a little bit more distance, but at the moment we get to over here, but there's not enough distance to get around the corner and into there. So as long as that stays not attached, then we're good to go. It does look like this station, when it gets stuff, it really gets stuff. I think I might manage these vehicles and give these guys 1 more, just in case. Because I don't want that to be too overwhelmed. And yeah, that is an entire lap of what we're doing, and that's been 50 minutes. Wow, that time went fast. I thought it was only like 10 or 20 minutes. I suppose we did a lot. We did a lot of power and stuff. And yeah, we always seem to be back at the airport. The airport seems to be the central place for everything. You can see this guy's leaving. We can't put too many more planes on because by the time they come in, drop their stuff off, taxi down the runway to prepare for takeoff, turn around and take off, we can't have another plane coming in. So yeah, it's important to keep a bit of separation. We may be able to get one more, but here's the next inbound over here. Are you inbound or outbound? So you are, yeah, you're inbound. So yeah, I don't think we can really afford to put many more on. But you know what? I think that is the end of an episode. We've had fun doing a lot of stuff. We've done the Tower Bridge stuff. We've done, upgrade to the double-decker buses, and we changed the engine from the mistaken engine that we had. Is it here right now? No, it's not. And yeah, I like the progress, and definitely I like this guy. This looks really good. I think we'll end it there. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to press subscribe and like the video, and we will see you next time as we play Errors. See you, everybody.